Good evening, everybody. Thank you, as always, for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate when you come and hang out upstairs with us. Welcome to another episode of Multicade Mondays. And man, oh man, I have a banger. That's right. I'm going to bring that term back, that term we're not supposed to use in this home arcade space. But guess what, my dudes? I have a banger of a podcast show for you tonight. It's the virtual pinball takeover here on Multicade Mondays. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very, very special guest, one of my favorite newer up and coming YouTubers who cover retro gaming, virtual pinball, things like that. And this is my good friend Ed from Digital Victory. Welcome to the show, and everyone, welcome Ed to the show in the live chat. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. Let's go. Digital Victory in the house.
Yeah. How many of you have seen Ed's content? Let us know in the live chat. Let people know who don't know who Ed is. Let them know if you're a fan of his content. I'm a big fan of his content. You do awesome coverage of virtual pinball, VPX games, AtGames pinball products, stock games on AtGames, tutorials. And that's my favorite thing that you do is I don't see enough people out there making tutorials of just virtual pinball games. How do you achieve goals? How do you achieve trophies? Like, how do you get the big points, right? And you do that a lot, right?
That's what I do. That's how it came about. Just trying to figure out how to not win, but how to be successful at the games and started learning about the rules. And during my search, I realized these aren't very hard to find. It would probably be helpful if someone could put out some simple tutorials on how to do that. And that's how it all started.
Yeah, and you've done a great job, man. You've done a great job, and I really, really hope we can help get your channel popping. And let's share this. Let's show everyone the channel, guys. Let me share my screen here. The link is in the video description below, but if you put that link in, make sure you're looking at the right place. Here it is, guys. Digital
Hey,
Victory. And is this that Indiana Jones font? I love this right
it
here. Is that
is.
the
It is.
All right, 1.3K subscribers. Guys, Loft Army, do me a favor, guys. Let's hit that subscribe button. Let's get him over 1,500 subs. Let's help Ed out. Ed, trust me, Ed's content is worth it. Ed makes great content. Look at this Shooting the Rapids tutorial on Legends Pinball, Class of 1812 tutorial, Lost in Space, which is that running Future Pinball or is that a
Nope,
VPX?
that's VPX.
That's the VPX table. Pinball, a history of the silver ball. This video was really, really cool. You know what I mean? Like, great stuff. Ed, you're awesome. I'm so happy when I reached out to you. You said you were ready to come on the show. Oh man, let's give him a
Hey,
sub. Give him a sub, guys. Go ahead.
thank you so much for the kind words, first of all. I really appreciate it. I love seeing some of these names in the chat. Wish I was a rock star. Dude, you are a rock star. Straight up. We
You,
all know that. Alho, multi-ball champ. That's me. Yes, indeed. That's like
so
a running gag on my channel. Whenever our multi-ball happens, man, I'll lose a multi-ball faster than anybody. If I
that
last, yeah.
that annoys me. Like when I'm playing pinball, whether it's real pinball or virtual pinball, if like you unlock multi-ball and all of a sudden you lose that ball within 10 seconds, right? And you're like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Come on. You get so upset. Like, oh, because when you unlock multi-ball, that's when you get the jackpot, jackpot, jackpot. And I love when I'm playing like a pinball game and I unlock multi-ball. And if you manage to get the balls going, especially if you have
Yes.
like 3 or 4 multi-balls,
Oh, yeah.
and you hear jackpot, 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 jackpot. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna set a high score, man.
I don't
All
I
right,
don't know that world. I don't know that world, Peter.
you don't know that world.
I don't know that world because mine usually drain right away. And when they drain, they all drain.
Mm. All right, well, Ed, before we get started here, as always, I promise my viewers we're gonna say hi to who's here in the live chat. Let's see who's here, guys. We got now keep in mind, guys, I'm using this different streaming software, and as you can see, it moves a bit slower changing names than the other one, so I can't go through these as quickly, but I'll just read them off. ST Gyro's here, Kurt Mason's here, Nerd Lounge Master's here, Al is here, Charlie, Chuck is here, Glenn is here, Brian Vader is here, Wish I Was a Rock Star is here, Nooner, Curtis, Devil Waldo is always here. William Titty's here. Jason Watson, Alfred Berger, Ritual Dello, and the Cornercade, Nooner, Conti Dinda, Papa Brad's Gaming, Trevor, Nathan, Blue Strings, Danny Z, Dr. Freeman, Ritual Dello, and probably some other people. Okay, I ran out of oxygen. All right, let's dive into the content. All right, so let's kind of tell people what we're going to be doing tonight on the broadcast, my dudes. So we got a jam-packed show. We're probably going to run over. I'm going to do my best to get through this in an hour for you guys, like I always do, but we might run over. So no offense. I know some of you like watching Michael B after me. We are going to go long. You're more than welcome to stay or go watch him, come back and watch the second half of the show via replay. That's what the replay is for. But I can't guarantee you we're going to get through all this in an hour because guess what, Ed? We got a ton we want to talk about. It's the virtual pinball takeover.
Let's go.
So let's go, baby. All right. So what we're going to be doing here, we want to kick off the show. We want to talk a little bit about virtual pinball history in this commercial home arcade space, all the products and companies that have come out. We're probably going to spend about 5 minutes on each. Just get Ed's impressions because Ed, you have an AtGames Legends pinball behind you, but no other products. So I want to know why
Correct.
Ed doesn't have any other products. I want to get his feedback on these products. We're also going to talk about modding your pinball machines, your Arcade1Ups, either using Intech Gaming or the Team Encoder Pinner mod. AtGames pinball machines using Buy Stuff arcades, the mods, and guys, we have our cameras pointed at our pinball machines. We're going to talk to you guys and show off some of these custom back boxes and things. We're going to talk AtGames pinball. There's going to be a good amount of AtGames pinball. We're also going to be talking about some VPX pinball, FX3, all that kinds of stuff. The fun part of getting virtual pinball up and running, which, oh man, like I'm new to it too. Like, man, I not until I started covering this hobby. So I've only been tinkering with virtual pinball the last couple of years, and I'm still not an expert, right? What about you? Do you feel like you're an expert? Do you feel like you're proficient? What do you think, my dude?
No, far from. I'm proficient at learning the tables. I am at that. I'm better than a guy walking down the street when it comes to actual playing pinball, but
Hmm.
I do not consider myself a competitive player or a particularly good player. But like I said, I'm better than just a guy. That's about the extent of my pinball skills. What I am good at, though, is learning the table, doing deep research as far as I can to learn all the rules I can before jumping in and learning more hints and tips because there's more than just the rules on a table. It's knowing when to bump it, when to watch out for this particular lane. You're going to lose the ball unless you do X, Y, Z, things like that. So that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, and but you're not good at multi-ball though.
No, I'm getting better though.
We've established that. We've established that. All right. Let's dive into some topics here. So for instance, my dudes, there was a company about 3 years ago that came out. They were, let's just say, Ed, pioneers. Now, keep in mind, virtual pinball machines have always been on the market. There's always websites out there, companies like oh geez, what's the one that I've been seeing lately? Like Gen X Arcade and others who they sell virtual pinball machines where they've already done all the work for you. Virtual pinball has been around forever. People have been doing custom virtual pinball machines for years, right? Years.
Mhm.
But when it comes to getting these more commercially available at a cost-effective price and in people's homes, the very first one, who, let's be honest, they were a pioneer, very brave, was the Toy Shock brand. Toy Shock, right? Now, this is a toy company. This is a company that was making RC cars as well as Barbie dolls. That was their business model, right? They saw an opportunity where a home arcade space was starting to boom. Arcade1Up was taking off. At Games was really ramping up. At Games was starting to get some gas under their fire. Arcade1Up was established, ramping up, growing, and they're like, no one's making virtual pinball machines, right? So they partner up with Farsight Studios to get us the Toy Shock pinball machine, which had 12 games, and it was very basic. Now, their goal, of course, was to make this more of a what you literally would call a toy pinball machine, right?
Mhm.
Um, Ed, what do you know about the Toy Shock? Before I keep going with the I don't know if you would call it a sad story or not.
Just the limited amount that I've seen online on a couple reviews and previews, because when I was doing my research to get the Legends pinball, I kept running into a couple others that were potential buys instead, and that was one of them, and as was the Arcade1Ups. And just feature wise, and machine to money ratio, I quickly dismissed it. That's about the extent of my knowledge on those.
Yep. No online features, alphanumeric display, but then again, the games that are on here originally had alphanumeric displays. Saved your high scores, although they had a firmware thing. There was an issue with the battery on the boards. It wouldn't, you would lose your high scores. Did not have built in accelerometers, had nudge buttons instead. Just one screen, as well as 12 games built in, no way to add more games, etc. Now, this thing originally came out retailed for $400, right? $399 MSRP, toy price, toy entry point. And, a lot of us, when we saw it, myself included, got really hyped because this was like the first of its kind, like a cost-effective virtual pinball machine, right? So, but unfortunately, it had issues with it, right? Fortunately, it had issues. They did end up releasing it in three skins. There's a black hole skin and a haunted house skin. They're still available for sale on Walmart's website here in the United States. And then they had a class of 1812 version skin, which is only available at the Brick in Canada for Canada customers. Had 1080p output, but then again, it's running Farsight Pinball, but it's running Android versions of the games, etc. They went through this whole spiel where, unfortunately, serious gamers, serious pinball players wanted this thing to be less of a toy and more of a real feel virtual pinball machine. They had to release new boards, Ed. They had to send new boards to every single customer, and once they got those boards, the version 1.3 boards have reduced flipper lag. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but in my opinion, the 1.3 board is playable.
You got to give
And
a
that,
little credit for the customer service, though. At least not a lot of companies would have done that.
it took them a long time, though, Ed. It took them a long
Ugh,
time. It took them
yeah.
over a year to get the boards to everybody.
Oh,
Now,
geez.
after that, they said, hey, we're going to release some tabletops. These tabletops never made it to the United States, Ed. They ended up these are available, but only in Canada. Canada, the Brick in Canada is the only retailer that picked these up. And these have a hefty price tag. They have an 18.5-inch screen, all the same hardware that's built into the standard Toy Shock. And what's interesting is, it does actually have a plunger, has the flipper, the nudge, etc. It's literally the same exact device without legs and a smaller screen. They got all the same hardware in there, etc. But at a very high price tag, $330 US, 449 Canadian.
Yeah, that's
This
not
thing,
nearly enough discount for the difference in hardware.
right? And this thing has not shown up in any United States retailers. The Brick ordered some. They got a pile, and unfortunately, they're not selling. They're not selling, and they're just sitting there. The Brick has even put them on sale a couple times, and they haven't really sold. Right? So unfortunately, after that, they kind of just disappeared. You know what I mean, Ed? They kind of just
Yeah.
they kind of just vanished. And the question is what's going on with Toy Shock now? Well, I myself, I had when I was starting YouTube a couple of years ago, I was able to work with them and talk to them and get information about their products. Guys, I haven't heard from them in over a year, maybe a year and a half. No emails, nothing. I haven't heard from the Falkies, Jeff Falky and his lovely wife Linda. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, is I think that they're kind of done. You know what I mean? Like they saw it as a toy entry point and they did their thing and maybe that's it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think they gave
It's,
it a shot and they swung and a miss.
oh man, but they weren't the only ones. They weren't the only ones because who could forget the well played arcade pinball? You guys remember this? Let us know in the live chat. The well played arcade pinball machine. So this was a 24-inch screen, which is the same size you get in your Arcade1Ups. This thing retailed for $500, so 50 less than the Arcade1Up pinball machines because those came in at $550. Came with 27 Zachariah games. It also had a USB port. They promised an online store where you could purchase, download more games to a USB, stick them in this thing, or use the 8 GB internal storage and play virtual pinball. And you know what stinks about this, Ed?
Hmm.
They never launched the store. They never launched the store. It was it.
Wow.
I was one of the few people to get one, and I did a review on it. Cool Toy did a review on it, and I tore this thing to shreds, Ed. I was pretty mean. I was pretty mean about this particular product. I don't know how many of you guys have been around for a while and saw that review. Ed,
It just
again, it would
didn't. What was the main issues? Just hardware? I mean, it was just built horribly, or
no backlash, horrible. It was the largest back box you've ever seen that just has like a Zachariah artwork on it with nothing there, like nothing there, right? Let me see if I can find my old review video. I hope I still have it
wow.
on my channel, but let me pull this thing up here.
Yeah,
And
do that.
it's
Let me. I'm
go ahead.
sorry. Let me
Go
just
ahead.
say a quick shout out to Retro Arcade Music Man. I saw you there, buddy. Good to see you. And Rainwater Games. Appreciate you checking out the games there. And my favorite, you asked, Twilight Struggle.
Oh, really? Okay, there we go. Let's see here. No nudging is a no-go. Yeah, there was no there were no nudge there was only one nudge button on this thing. And all it gave you was a forward nudge. There were
Mm,
no side nudge buttons. Isn't that weird? Like how can you play pinball
it's
without
awful.
side nudge buttons?
I will comment on that later, by the way. Remind me. We'll talk about
No,
that issue.
go ahead and comment now because I'm pulling this thing up.
As you know, the Legends Pinball has the side nudges and it has a front nudge, but the front nudge is not really accessible while you're playing easily. Okay, you got to really have muscle memory to know where to find it. And I was actually thinking about trying to figure out how to make a pedal for the front
Mhm.
nudge where it would just be under my foot constantly for that reason. Because I think to me, front nudge is a lot more useful because I nudge more than ever trying to keep it out of the side lanes. And if you can hit that front nudge as it approaches the side lanes, it's more effective than nudging it left and right.
Great stuff, Ed. We got $10 super chat from Bacon Spaceman. Is it
Let's
possible to
go.
do you know this guy?
I don't, but
Okay.
just seeing that, my eyes are lighting up. Not that it's my money, but that's awesome.
New name for me. Is it possible to get an arcade cabinet, mod it yourself for 600 or under, like AtGames and light up buttons? Yes, sir. Absolutely. You could pick up a used Arcade1Up cabinet and
That's where I was going.
you could get some cheap buttons and sticks off Amazon. Like again, we're trying to get under his budget, right? And
I've
then you
seen
could,
different comments about used
you
Legends
know,
pinballs for
yeah,
reasonable prices, three four
yep.
hundred bucks.
Yeah, so the answer to your question is yes. Really appreciate the $10 donation, my friend. But we are talking pinball tonight. It's the pinball takeover. Ed, now that you're seeing what one of these real things looks like, what do you think, man? Take a look. Look at this hideous back box. And it had the word pinball like 5 times all over it. Every side of this thing, it said pinball. What do you think of
Yeah,
this thing,
that's
man?
that's not good.
Oh man, this thing was
Oof.
it was horrible. It was ugly. It was I took a bullet for everyone. I took a bullet for everyone. Now, I will say, now keep in mind too, like just like at games, again, they're running the Android versions. Toy Shock was running the Android versions of Farside Studio. Here they're running the Android versions of Zachariah, which Android technically Android versions are what you get on the Legends Pinball, Arcade1Up Pinball, Android. It's all Android. I mean, that's this whole
Yeah.
commercial space is Android, right? The only way you're going to get the best of the best virtual pinball is to use a PC. Like, am I wrong,
Yeah.
Ed? Like, I mean, you have to use a
100%
PC.
correct.
If
Mhm.
you want to get the best of the best virtual pinball experience, you're going to have to plug a PC into a pinball cabinet. But these companies have done their best to give us entry level, cost effective, affordable solutions. There's the one nudge button. They had one nudge button on the side, Ed, and it was a forward nudge. It was a forward nudge. It drove me bonkers, man. And
Yeah, that's
also,
really
yeah,
bad.
now, I will say this. I think I said in review, the games actually played, they played pretty good on this thing. And, again, you could download, like, when I turned it on, it had internet, Wi-Fi. I downloaded their firmware update. I downloaded the games, all that stuff. And it had, like, some basic Zachariah games. And, they didn't look too bad.
Now
They
you
didn't
said
look
that was
too bad.
Android, right?
Yeah, these are the Android
Would
versions.
you have access to the Android store to buy other companies'
Nope, nope, because
stuff? See, that's
they had it set up to be kind of
closed
more of an
system.
exclusive,
Mm-mm.
exclusive.
An exclusive fail, I think is
Bacon Spaceman gave us another $5 super chat. He said there's a place in Las Vegas called the Pinball Hall of Fame. It's pretty cool. They have pinball machines from all eras. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There is a little bit of content on my channel for my visit to the Pinball Hall of Fame. And man, if you want to try real pinball, you definitely got to go to Vegas. You definitely got to go to Vegas.
I have not been there before, but in my work, we do go to Vegas for trade shows fairly regularly.
Mhm.
I absolutely am gonna schedule a day to go
Yeah.
there. I'm staying an extra day.
Yep. So Phil's Notebook asked a question. PDubs, did Well Played get mad at your review? I don't know, and I don't care. I had no relationship with them, no relationship with the company. I bought the product with my own cash. I reviewed it, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I wasn't a big fan of it. So whether or not they even saw my review or anything, I don't know. All I know is right when they were trying to get up and running, Ed, and keep in mind they're a smaller toy company, just like
Mhm.
Toy Shock. What happened right around 2019 when this was all going down? COVID, right?
Yeah.
So COVID, supply chain issues,
Oh,
Well
supply
Played,
chain issues is real. That is 100% real. It's affecting my industry big time where I work.
because they were going to release a
Yeah.
tabletop. They were going to release a tabletop version as well as the full size version, and the full size version it got released, but I think maybe only like 20 units arrived in the United States. There might only be 20 people out there who own this one. I had it, and
That's too bad.
I bought it for 500, and I sold it for 400. There was a guy here who came and bought it, so I didn't lose that much money
That's a
on
win.
it. But still, they never really took off, right? They never really took off. So so that's kind of a shame, man. But were you watching Well Played or Toy Shock before we get into AtGames art in Arcade1Up?
No, just like I said, I've seen those in comparison videos, or they popped up as videos when I was investigating the Legends pinball when I was considering that. And I might have watched a review here or there, probably yours, Cool Toys, things like that. But I didn't pay much attention to it once I saw the initial opinions.
All right. So now there's another company out there that does a lot of virtual pinball stuff, and I have one of their products, and I actually like it for what it is, and that is a company called Sharpin. How many of you out there have a Sharpin pinball machine? Let me know in the live chat. Ed, what do you know about Sharpins, my dude?
Sharpen does have the ability to get other pinball tables off the Android store. That to me was a huge selling point. And if I was to get an additional little tabletop, that's one I'd definitely be looking at.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull up a couple things for the audience here who might not be aware of all this. The physics on visual pinball are second to none. We would agree. We got a $10 super chat for Music Mike. I've stretched the limits of my technical abilities getting FX3 set up on my Legends pinball, and I love it. How much harder is adding pinup popper, future pinball, etc.? Is it worth it? Ed, can you answer that while I'm pulling up this stuff?
It's maybe just a little harder, but if I can do it, anybody can do it. That's my go-to answer for that stuff. I'm not real techie, and you'll notice that on my channel. I wish I was a little more technologically proficient because there's a lot of successful videos I could be putting out, but I'm really not. But the fact that I'm able to make them all work on this tells you that it's not that difficult. I can't speak to pinup popper other than that's my goal right now to get this set up with that. I've heard nothing but great things about it though. So
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's keep going here because we want to get to the really fun stuff that we want to talk about tonight. But Sharpin is currently still in business and they're doing pretty well. Very popular. They're based, I believe, in the United Kingdom, and they make a bunch of tabletop pinball machines as well as they make full-size pinball machines. And you basically buy the kits, etc. This is their tabletop pinball machine. Now, something that's interesting that they did is so I have the Sharpin Ultra. So this is the one I have that I reviewed on my channel. Got a nice big screen in there. I think it's a 24-inch screen, if I recall. It's a monster in there.
1082,
24,
right?
yeah, 1080, decent refresh rate on it. They and they provided the screen with the kit. You have to assemble the whole cabinet. They provide the encoder board and the buttons and all that stuff. And this is the one I got well over a year ago and reviewed on my channel is the Sharpin Ultra. Now, this tabletop pinball machine was pretty cool and it's a lot of fun. And you had a couple of options, right? They provide you could buy it where it's Nintendo Switch ready. So they'll give you a Nintendo Switch compatible encoder board and buttons, and then you just connect your Nintendo Switch, or you can order the one that is PC ready. And what they basically do is for most of their packages, you get a B-Link device, which is a little square Android box, right? So I ordered the Sharpen one that had the Android box come with it. This
That
B-Link
is not a
device.
low level Android box either. It's
Nope,
fairly
nope.
robust.
Yeah, the one they give with is, like you said, is actually robust, right? So, you have this little Android thing here, as you can see in my review, and you can access all the pinball games that you can play on Android, right? So you can play Williams, Zen, you could play Zachariah, etc., Pinball Arcade, all that kinds of stuff. And this is a fun tabletop solution, but you'll notice, Ed, we were missing the back glass, right? We're missing
Right.
the back glass, and people who play virtual pinball love having that back glass. So this is just me screwing around here, but as you can see, this is running FX3 off Android. Guys, make sure you pay for
Son
your
of
pinball.
Zeus.
Yep, this is their Zen Pinball Android app, and as you can see, it's fun, it's good, it's got a big screen for tabletop pinball, and it was a good experience. Now, it was missing it, but what they did add, and that's why I have their website pulled up, is they actually developed their own application that's on the Android store, and that application will actually capture the back glass, like the DMD, that's on the usually it's on the top
Right.
of the screen on FX3. Like if you play on one screen, you play out like FX3, it captures it and you run that app on a separate tablet above the machine, and now you have a back glass. Now you have a DMD. So this is their current iteration of their product right here. So some people might be fans of this. They are expensive. Again, these are in the $400 $500 price range, but they provide you everything: the buttons, the encoder boards, and you could also include the tablet, the Android box, as well as the big monitor, right? Like you get the whole thing, and all you got to do is put it together, right? But it's really cool that they developed their own app to capture that DMD, because I recently did a video on my channel for people who come here frequently. And when we did that video on my channel, showing off the Intech Gaming control panel to put on your Arcade1Ups to play Nintendo Switch pinball games. What stinks about that mod is you lose the DMD, right? And this right here was a nice workaround, right? A very nice workaround
I
by
like that
Sharpin.
unit quite a bit. My only criticism though is I think it's a little pricey.
Oh yeah, they are definitely
Yeah.
expensive. They are expensive. But then again, you get everything. All you gotta do is put it together. Usually with these kits, like it only took me, oh geez, man, I think it took me maybe 30 minutes to assemble the whole pinball machine and plug in all the buttons. Like it's a very quick kit because it's just a tabletop.
Yeah.
You're connecting together three pieces of wood, plugging in some buttons, and putting your monitor on top, and you're done. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah.
Turn it on, play some pinball. It's a very, very easy thing. So I really like the Sharpin products. But like you said, they're expensive. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And
And
now they have a solution for the back glass, which is really good.
yeah, I think that again says some nice things about their customer service and the fact that they really are catering to their clientele and trying to make them happy. Um, Whether it's that or some of the others, though, it's still going to take that personal commitment to learn about it. It's a
Mhm.
hands-on hobby, even more so the when you get to the PC side of the house. Then there's no way around that. It just is.
And that brings us to the two, let's just say, commercial companies who have been the most successful at releasing commercial grade home arcade pinball machines, and that would be Arcade1Up and AtGames. Now, you don't have an Arcade1Up pinball machine. I've owned a couple of them. They're modded. I only have one now because once it was modded, I didn't feel the need to have more than one. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mhm.
But still, what are your thoughts on the Arcade1Up pinballs, and why did you never pick one up?
Man, I was right there with both. When
Mhm.
I decided I was going to get a system, that was what I was looking at first before I even heard of the Legends pinball. You know, that helped spark my interest. Oh, that looks really slick. And then I heard about the Legends, and I already had the Legends arcade. So when they decided to coming out with the pinball, I started looking at that. And when I compared and the features and the pricing, the more features you got with the Legends pinball for not very much difference in pricing made it a no-brainer for me. But I'm a sucker for all those great graphics, and they just look slicker than snot. I came so close to buying the Star Wars one, and I'm not outlawing the fact that I still may. It's not dead yet. Just I really like the look of them. The 720 kind of bugged me. To be honest with you, that messed with me a little bit too, and the size of the screens. So, all the standard things we probably all know about. But I like them a lot. Now,
Guys,
I'm
let
not familiar with the mod scene for those, Patrick. If you can tell me about that, because once I lost
yeah.
interest, I kind of stopped following it.
Yeah, so let me try and find something good here. Hang on. So what's interesting is Arcade1Up Pinball. How many of you guys have Arcade1Up Pinball machines, and what do you think about them? Do you have all three? Because they've released three. Do you have one or two? Do you really like them? Did you do the pinner mod? Start putting your feedback in the live chat, guys, so I can get your stuff on the screen here. So when I look at the um, Arcade1Up Pinball, right? So for instance, um, they're very pretty. You know what I mean? They're very pretty. If there's one thing that Arcade1Up does well, is make things pretty. And that's
Oh
really
yeah.
cool. You know, the machines are gorgeous and stuff, and they're designed right. I mean, my only real complaint about the design of the pinball machines were this is when Arcade1Up tried to make fake coin doors, but they were horrible at it. Like the coin doors they do now on their arcade cabinets are way better than this thing. That thing doesn't even
Mm.
look like a coin door. It's pretty crappy, right? And of course, 720p Android versions of the Pinball FX3 games, right? A lot of people didn't like the gameplay, a lot of people didn't like the visuals, etc. There was a lot of hyping about these products. The whole world was stoked for these, man. They really wanted these to be absolutely amazing, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of got amazing thanks to the Team Encoder, right? The Team Encoder mystery encoder team who they released a software mod where you could just connect this to your computer, and next thing you know, you can have more pinball games than the 10 that are included. But what's better, what I really liked was they had the ability for you to connect then to that same Android store that you can connect to on the Sharpin device,
Mm.
and you can run the
Okay.
Zen Pinball and the Williams Android apps. And obviously, guys, you want to buy your pinball games and run your pinball games on your pinball machine. So people were able to play a lot more games. And that to me added a ton more value to these
That's
machines,
a
right?
game changer. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to Team Encoder, right? Thanks to Team Encoder. And what's really cool about their software mod that they've done, which guys check out Kongs R Us if you need tutorial videos. He did some great coverage and tutorial videos. I didn't feel a need to make my own tutorial videos because I didn't want to, take views away from his channel because he did such a good job working with Team Encoder on putting all that stuff together. But yeah, he's got the tutorial videos. They're very easy to follow, and whatchamacallit, and you get to have a good time. It makes the machine better. Like even some people can turn on the 1080p as well in the settings with the mod instead of just having
Nice.
720p. Right. So I mean, it makes them better. It makes them better. You know what I mean?
That, that
It
is a
makes
game
them better.
changer.
Yep. All right, guys, get your feedback coming in the live chat here. Now, but then there's another way to mod this thing, and that's with our Intech Gaming pinball control panel, which I just did some videos on. They sent it to me for review, and I'm like, that's cool, man. I'll take one for review and I'll check it out. And in my review, I said, although this is super cool, it kind of it's if I had to choose, right? Like if I had to choose, like if your primary focus on pinball, sorry about the ads, guys. If your primary focus on pinball on this pinball machine is just to play pinball, then you probably would want to do the pinner mod. That way you could access the Android store, purchase more games, all that kinds of stuff, right? But if you want to do what a lot of us do with these at games, where we turn them into a pinball arcade, where we could play more games than just that, then this is a great solution for that. If you're less into pinball, but more into, I just want to play a bunch of stuff on a single machine, right? Because you lose the
Hmm.
back glass, Ed, with this mod. So
Oh
that's the
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
you don't get the DMD, which stinks. I mean, you can play the
Yeah.
games, you'll play the Nintendo Switch version of the games, and the Nintendo Switch versions of the games look and perform and play better than any Android version of the games, in my opinion. So, I mean, the Nintendo Switch versions are the best, in my opinion, compared to the Android versions. But you
Hmm.
lose out on that DMD, right? And that's like the
Yeah.
most
No.
that's like the most important thing. So when it comes to modding, in my opinion, I think better way to go would be to do the pinner mod, the software mod. That
Yeah,
way you could just buy more games. What do you think? What's your opinion on all that?
agree 100%. I think that was one of the Sharpin's biggest selling points, and keeps it from being a closed system. Arcade1Up, that is one of the main criticisms. So having that ability is huge.
Absolutely. Got a lot of great feedback in the live chat, guys. Greatly appreciate your support. Keep it coming. All right. So then we turn around and I'm like, well, how is there any way to make this mod any better? Right. Throwing this control panel in. And that's where let's get our chat overlay off here. That's where this comes in, right? So I'm like, we can do the you could put it's about a 23.5-inch screen in the back glass. And because it mirrors the display
Wow.
and you have the ability to toggle the display on or off. So as you can see here, you can now play arcade games on this device. You know what I mean? On your pinball
Yeah.
machine. So like if you want to take a pinball break, you could play like all whatever's on your Switch that'll play with 6 buttons and the D-pad as your joystick. You can get up and running. Like right here, I'm playing the Capcom. What is this? The Capcom Beat 'em Up collection right here. I think I was playing
Nice.
I was playing Capcom Beat 'em Up collection right there. I was playing the new Cruisin', you know what I mean? Like,
Wow.
you can play it on your back glass. So it's like, hey, I'm playing pinball, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna play some games, right? So you can go this route. So there's some people who are interested in this route, and there's some people who are interested in the other route. My opinion is, and I said it in all my content on these products, if you only want to play pinball on the pinball machine, then your best bet would be to just do the software modification. If
100%.
you if you want to play more than pinball on an Arcade1Up machine, then you can do the Intech gaming and play a whole bunch of stuff. So good
If you're,
stuff.
but to me, if you're buying the Arcade1Up, it's because you appreciate and really dig all the artwork and the
Mhm.
authenticity of the look. And you probably already have an Arcade1Up arcade machine in your house if if you're one of those folks, I would think.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is now that the Geekworm 1.5 boards have come out, these are some nice boards that allow the LVDS signal from the Arcade1Up PCB to convert it to an HDMI. People are now able to put a 32-inch playfield in their Arcade1Ups, which that's really cool, right? So there's a lot of great. If you guys are in the Arcade1Up Pinball Facebook groups and stuff, I've seen a lot of great pictures of people who've done that mod. I think I might do that mod myself.
That's solid.
Throw, and all that stuff. When does that pinball controller drop? So that pinball controller is actually up for order on the Intech Gaming website, and it's already shipping. Several people have already received theirs since my reviews, and they've already installed them. So I've seen people posting pictures of it in social media forums and all that stuff. All right. So, but that brings us to what we might sound a little biased now. We might sound a little biased. Is the AtGames pinball your favorite?
100%.
I think
Yes.
it's my favorite too. So why don't you
Hmm.
show people your AtGames Legends pinball machine, and we'll kind of start diving into some AtGames pinball stuff.
Just gonna give a quick
Yep. Let me.
webcam shot here.
Yeah. Let's go here. Yeah. Let's go here.
All right.
Uh,
Now, if you watch my videos, this is probably very familiar to you.
yeah.
But
You got the T-Rex there. You got.
I got my
Here we go.
T-Rex, my
There you go.
LED lighted speakers, and some stand-up programmable LED lights next to the speakers. I got the
Now.
standard back glass.
Hmm.
I have now those are custom speaker grills
Okay.
for
I see that.
the artist Prince. I'm a big Prince fan, and one of my viewers made that for me on 3D printing, and he did a lot of other stuff for me too. I got Batman, I got Jurassic Park, Star Trek. um, Now, currently, I have the Jaws table for VPX in there,
Hmm.
and here you see the PC that I use. And this is just a gaming PC I got from Best Buy. and it's a big giant beast monstrosity of a machine, but it was not particularly powerful. It was just under $1,000, and I think it has a 1660 video card in it,
Hmm.
and it does the trick though. I only have 8 GB of RAM. I need to bump it up to 16, but it still works. I don't lag on anything unless I have the Apollo
Hmm.
13 table going with 13 multi-balls at
Hmm.
once.
So you are currently using this to play the stock games as well as FX3 games, as well as VPX, Future Pinball, all that stuff. Now you're
Yeah.
only using the two screens setup, which is what I was using um, before I got the Buy Stuff Store back box, which we'll show people and talk about here in a minute.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's exactly what I have, and the Best Buy back box is on my bucket list for sure.
now, what I can say, Ed, let me know if you agree or disagree with me.
Mhm.
When I was running all my PC pinball games using just the stock AtGames back box, I'll be honest, I think it was easier to set up. Like it was easier for me just setting up two screens versus three. Um, and that's kind of why I rode that for a long time. There were a lot of people who were adding DMDs to their at games back boxes and stuff. But me, my setup looked just like yours, where I had the dynamic back glass with the DMD like on the bottom of the screen there. Like I was rolling with two screens for a long time until just now. Uh, how
Yeah,
how hard is this setup for two screens? Whenever let's just say you want to add a new VPX table.
it was for me again with my limited technical knowledge. It was probably a good 2-3 hour process for me. The hardest part was just not believing Windows and going with the configuration and with the VPX and my PC and working with all the software, figuring it out. Once I stopped letting Windows lie to me, it got a lot easier. I can't imagine trying to set it up with three though. Man, that would be to me a little more difficult process. And I'll be honest with you, that is probably one of the reasons I haven't really made a big push to get that Best Buy back box yet.
Oh, from the Buy Stuff store.
Yeah, or Best Buy. I'm sorry, the buy stuff. You know, not only is it another 500-600 bucks out of pocket, but having to deal with that three screen setup and reconfiguring all these different systems would be a little bit of a hurdle. Not that I'm incapable, but just less likely to do it in a
But
hurry.
so what you're saying is it's gonna happen.
Yeah, my wife can't hear you through the headphones, so yeah, yeah. It will.
Oh, really? Has there been four-letter words thrown around your room?
No, never. No.
All right. So I'm trying to see if Buy Stuff has their back box listing still live. They may have taken them down because they're currently out not they're in between order runs. So they like to take them down.
Yeah, every time I really get excited and get ready
Mhm.
to pull the trigger, I look and they're gone. I'm like, saved by the
All
bell.
right. Let's pull up. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I found it. Nope, that's the 1.0. Where's our 2.0? Well, I mean, I can show this real quick. All right, we'll come back to your pinball machine in just one quick second. But for
Yeah, go
starters,
for it.
guys, so buy stuff instead of using this at games back box, you were able to upgrade to the deluxe back box. This was their 1.0 option, and you then this way you could get your three screens right. Now,
Oh yeah.
so you had the 15.6-inch here, and I believe this is a 24-inch screen right here. So this was the deluxe backbox 1.0. A lot of people upgraded their pinball machines to this one.
Man,
It
that's
is
hot.
very it is very expensive, but then again, guys, the monitors and all that stuff came with your purchase. And I think were they providing? Yep, they had mounts for the Vibs board. You still needed to get your own Vibs board on the 1.0.
Yep.
But then here we go. Here's the 2.0s. So the 2.0s get really, really interesting, right? And I have one of these myself. In fact, I gotta power up my so I can start showing you guys some stuff. So the 2.0s are interesting because they had four different designs to choose from. So if you take a look here at your back box designs, So this one right here is pretty much the one that I went with. It's got more of the square rectangle style back box, as well
Mhm.
as what this does to me is my favorite pinball games to play. Like whenever I go and I see real pinball, I know everyone loves the modern stern look, the modern stern pinball games, right? Me, Ed, I'm stuck in the past. Pinball tables like Tales from the Crypt, Elvira Scared Stiff, the 90s pinball machines that had, yeah, they had the big back glass here, which was pretty much usually a static image, right? It was a translite image. And but
Mhm.
they just had the DMD here doing all kinds of things, right?
Mhm.
Those are my favorite pinball games to play. Like when
Metallica.
yes,
That
yes,
was a
because
great one.
right. Like when I sometimes, man, when I get in front of a modern Stern pinball machine that's got this screen doing
It's
crap,
overwhelming.
this screen doing crap, and
Yeah.
it gets a little crazy. It's super awesome that pinball has come that way, but man, this was my favorite era of pinball, and that's why I got this particular back box. But they also have, let's see if we have pictures of right here. They also have this one right here, which again, it's the same style of the two monitors. You have the 24-inch and then the DMD down here, which is geez, I think it's 13 inches. I'll have to double check. But with more rounded edges with the chrome trim, which kind of matches what all the AtGames products look like. The original me, well, what can I say? I'm a dwarf. I like right angles or something of that nature. So I like straight edges, right? But then they also have, again, if you wanted to get the Backbox 2.0, they do have more of what you might call the modern Stern style, where you have the 15.6
Yeah.
inch. And what's cool about this is you'll be able to do a whole bunch of pup packs, right? And get
Oh
all kinds
yeah.
of really cool stuff running on both screens. Yeah, if you know what you're doing, it does take time, right? And so they have that one again with the right edges, and then they have this one right here again with the rounded edges. Same thing, right? Pretty cool stuff.
I
So
like that rounded edge one actually.
me, I kind of me, oh, I don't know, man. I really like this. I really kind
I
of like
like
this.
them all. I don't dislike
Yeah.
any of them for sure. So let me ask you this, Patrick,
Yep.
and everybody else in the chat too. Comment on this
Mhm.
if you could. What do you think of pup packs? I'll tell you my opinion after you go, but give me your thoughts.
Uh, me, pain in the butt to set up. But then again, I'm not an expert yet, and I'm hoping I can get there one day.
Okay, that's fair. Yep.
What about you?
When I have friends over, I love to bring up a cool table with a pup pack and show them. Isn't this cool? But when I'm playing, and
Mhm.
especially when I'm doing trying to score well for a tutorial, I turn them off. I just put a standard back glass there. They're distracting as hell to me. They really are. Not gonna lie. They look really cool, and some are better than others. Some are just eh. But when it's a really good one, it does impress. People love to see them. The Beatles table is an amazing pup pack. Love that.
Mhm.
But generally speaking, I'm not a huge fan.
Not a huge you're just not a huge fan. Maybe that's another reason why you haven't switched your back box yet.
Yeah, that could be.
Well,
That
maybe
could
go
be.
maybe go with the style that I have, which is more 90s, right?
Yeah.
Because I really like it. All right, so let me see here if I can get my other camera displayed for everyone. And let's go extra camera. Let's see if this works. Let's go ahead and add camera. All right, here we go. All right, my dude. So we're gonna have to switch things around right here. So currently, this is my back box on my Legends pinball machine. As you can see right here, this is the 1.0. And oh, is it frozen? Oh, there it goes. And as you can see, we got our three screens set up. We are running FX3 via Steam. Again, because guys, I always say buy your pinball games, support these companies, etc.
Hmm.
And it just makes what it does to me, at least in my opinion, Ed, is this camera's really screwing up. It's really lagging. Uh, what it does for me, Ed, is it really oh, what's the word? It makes the
Immerses.
whole well, it makes the whole pinball machine feel bigger. Does that make
Oh
sense? Having the
yeah.
bigger,
I mean, it
having
is. I
the
mean, for,
having the
I
bigger
I
back box.
I love the look of them. Yeah, absolutely. I'm a fan.
Ooh, yeah, let's see if we can get the camera back a little bit. All right. So as you can see right there, I got the camera back a little bit more, and it looks
Looks
pretty,
fantastic.
yeah, pretty fantastic. I love the way this looks right here. Ooh.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, take a look at. I love the DMD looking like that, where you could split that off right there.
That,
I just fired a
yeah.
ball for fun. So what I will have coming up on my YouTube channel, I'm hoping I wanted to publish it before tonight's episode. But I'm probably gonna have to finish it tonight, publish it tomorrow. I'm gonna have a full review as well as setup for this buy stuff back box, how to get the 3 screens set up, how to mount it, install it to your AtGames Legends Pinball, all that kinds of stuff, and how to
Yep.
run your games off of Steam, etc. So I should
Yes.
have that video hopefully done and published tomorrow, guys. But
Wow.
again,
Okay.
let me tell you guys something. Although I feel I'm a pretty smart guy, I'm probably not a genius. And if I can figure this out, you can figure this out. Don't let it scare you away. Don't let yourself run from doing a project like this. And also use Wagner's Tech Talk. Wagner's Tech Talk
Amen,
guides.
brother.
Oh man, those have helped me so much. Wagner's Tech Talk guides. Have you used those as well?
Absolutely. Um, that's my go-to for helping people when they want, how do I set up my ALP with my PC? And it because I'm so terrible at the tech side of things, I say, look, I'm not good at teaching you how, but I can tell you this website, and I give them a link to the exact video. This
Mhm.
guy knows what he's doing, and this will give you a lot better guidance than I can.
All right. So one reason we've been hanging on your machine is Ed and I were talking and we were thinking, why not show off like maybe 3 to 5 and tell people your favorite VPX games and why, and maybe fire a ball or two and show off the tables. So I'm assuming
Awesome.
Jaws is one of them because we have this one set up.
Yeah, Jaws is one of them. And a while back, few months ago, I did my top 10 favorite virtual pinball machines. And already that's changed. It just changes because there's so many that come out all the time. But this is definitely one of them.
All right, guys. We are
Fantastic table here. Just gonna get a little bit of pinballs around. The music. Can you hear the music?
Yep, we can hear it.
Awesome. Okay. John Williams' Jaws music is iconic. As good as it gets, man. And
So
there's
what
go
what
ahead.
are so what are some of the things you really like about this table?
Number one, the music. Number two, it's really fun. The FX3 has a Jaws table, and it put me to sleep. It was just so slow and didn't have the impact that this has at all. They had the 3D toy and stuff, and that was cool, but this is so much more fun.
Okay.
All right, I got one more to go for a multi-ball. Let's see what I can do here.
All right. Oh wait, can we watch you suck at multi-ball?
Nope, I'm gonna kick ass on this one.
I don't know, man.
We'll
if you guys watch Digital Victory on YouTube, Ed is known to be terrible at multi-ball. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah. Woo! That's a good save right there. Trying to get it up into that. No, shoot. However, it's beautiful, and it's got great call-outs from the movie. The FX3 table, and I'm not trying to rag on FX3 because I absolutely love them. They've got hundreds and hundreds of my dollars. But the FX3 table has fake voices, which a lot of their tables do. This one doesn't. This is, copyright laws be damned, I guess, but they have the real call-outs from the movie, and it makes a big difference. Oh!
Is it coming?
Let's go!
All right, here we go. Multi-ball. Will Ed suck?
No.
Wait.
Not.
You haven't lost the ball yet.
That's right.
He's got. Oh, you lost one. No pressure. The whole world.
Two.
You lost 2.
Already, this has lasted longer than most of my multi-balls.
Well, just like my wife told me, that was the best 8 seconds of my life. Thanks a lot, Ed, for the amazing multi-ball performance right there.
You hear the music? That's
Uh,
freaking glorious. That's
all right.
Jaws on VPX. Let's check
All
out
right.
another one of my favorites.
All right. Now I told Ed I want him to share his absolute favorite tables with everybody because there's a lot of them, my dudes.
These are my current favorites, so I'm going to keep it short. Can't go wrong, and I think this is wholly appropriate right now with World Cup.
All right, here we go.
It looks fantastic. I mean, just, everything about it is terrific.
I got to tell you though,
goal! Let's go! Right up.
All right. I love the World Cup table. I just did a video about this because I got to play the real one in Chicago, fell in love with it. And right after I played the real pinball machine, when I got back home, Ed, Pinball FX released a World Cup table. And I paid for it. I bought it. And I got to admit, man, the Zen Studios World Cup table is pretty damn good. It's a really good table.
Yes, indeed. I have all the FX3 stuff, just everything they put out for FX3 I got. But for the new FX, I just recently got it, actually, to play the tables that were all unique to it. And then they came out with World Cup, and I picked that up as well. And that's not hooked up to my Legends pinball because of the whole cabinet code thing. But it will be once they get that worked out. And I love it. Pinball FX is fantastic.
I like that. I like this idea, Ed. Nathan says you and I should record us playing a game and see who gets the highest score. So maybe
that'd be awesome.
Maybe we'll post that as a separate collaboration video.
I would enjoy that. Like I said, I don't consider myself a competitive player or particularly good for that matter, but I would do it with you for sure. Sounds fun, dude.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the next one if you don't mind, because we are cutting it short on time, my dude.
Absolutely. The next one is a nostalgia favorite. And this is one of the places where I started with pinball back in the, late 70s as a kid. And I played with my brother and my sister, and they come over and they play this with me, and we enjoy the heck out of it.
Okay. And what do we got here?
Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Oh, nice. Captain Fantastic. Older EM table, right?
Yes. And there's many versions of it. I will tell you the actual version of this once I am able to look at my table again, because there's so many versions, I don't know exactly which one this is off the top of my head. Don't get out of there. Boo. So real quick, pro tip on this table. Don't mess with the targets on the left. You have a flipper on the right, which you can hit those targets on the left, and that's cool, but don't do it. Don't do it until later. The number one goal you want to do is drop it in the left and right lane up top. Okay, and what that'll do is if you hit both, it'll double your bonus. Yikes. And of course, like most pinball machines, the things you hit will increase your bonuses, in particular those green rollover targets that you see all over the table. So hit those to increase your bonus. Hit the left and right lanes up there to double your bonus. Oh, there's the left one. Cool. You see how the A lit up right there? Okay. You go in the right lane and the B will light up. Once you light up both, you will double your bonus. Now, see? I broke my own rule. I broke my own rule. I'm a sucker for that side flipper.
But let me ask you a question, Ed. There are a lot of real pinball machines that over the years they've been made, like Captain Fantastic. It's been made in, I think there's a solid state version. If I recall, wasn't there a solid state version of this table?
I don't think so.
Well, hasn't this table was redone, wasn't it?
No, not to my knowledge at all.
This is the only one they've done? Oh, it must be thinking of something else.
Only in 1976 or 1977.
Let me double check. Okay, but all right.
So what you want to do when you play, though, is you're just trying to get it up into the top level over and over again. And that's twofold. One, to get down One, to get down those two lanes up there that give you the A and B double bonus. And number two, to keep rolling over those green drop targets, which will increase your bonus. And then obviously doubling it is key to that as well. So it's kind of boring, but it's challenging to do because it's not easy to get it back up there without losing it, especially if you're impatient like me and you want to hit that side flipper every time you see it. Tough table though.
Yeah. I do like older EM style pinball games. Yeah, okay, look right here. We got some people in the live chat agreeing with me. I'm not losing my mind. There's an EM and solid state
There
version of this table.
is. I'll be
Aha.
damned.
Aha. So there you go.
Well, I would
Um,
love to see that. I want to play that.
so yeah, so I didn't know if you had played it because I wanted to ask you what would make you like one version over the other. Some people are like, I love when a table's remade and it's more modern. Some people say, I just love classic, bells and chimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So me, I love older EM style pinball, and some people don't understand it. And
I I'm with you 100%. I'm
I'm
a
like,
sucker
I'm
for the
like,
old
it's
school.
fun. It's fun. I love hearing the ping, ping, ping. All right,
Yeah.
let's get that off
I'm
of
a
here.
sucker for the old school stuff, man.
All right, good stuff here. So let's get this over
So those
here.
are my current favorites. Those are what I've been playing a lot lately. And I had some relatives in town this weekend for a wedding.
Mhm.
And like I said, my brother and sister came over, and that's almost the only table we played. I've 450 tables,
Mhm.
whatever, and we stuck to a 1977 Elton John table.
Excuse me. Those are running. Martin asked what software. Those are running off of VPX.
Yeah, those are all VPX tables,
Those
indeed.
are all VPX tables, my friend. Let's see here. I used to play those. Let's see what he says here. Jason, I used to play those in the early '80s in the Poconos Resort game room. There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Old school, man.
Poconos Resort Game Room. Love it.
Uh, so what would you say to people who are like, should I go down this VPX type journey or future pinball PC journey? What would you tell people? And let me ask you this question first and then answer the other one. What do you prefer more? Do you like virtual pinball more or do you like real pinball?
Virtual.
Okay.
Virtual. To play real pinball, I don't have one, and it would be a bit of a chore to go downtown to the one place I know has lots of pinball machines, which I do occasionally still and enjoy it.
Hmm.
But virtual just gives you the freedom to play so many more tables. And
That is true.
if somebody was interested in doing it, I would say absolutely, heck yeah, go for it. It's a real commitment. Like I said, there's no easy way to just push a button, although the Legends Pinball is as close to that as there is. Because it does come with 22 tables and there's hundreds of tables available for purchase.
Mhm.
The Zachariah tables, all the Taito tables, etc., and the new Dr. Seuss tables coming out, which I can't wait to do a video on. But yeah, absolutely go for it, and don't skimp on the PC would be my biggest advice,
Yeah.
because I did that at first. And that's why I ended up getting a newer one from Best Buy, because the first PC I got was the slim Dell Optotech from or Optech from Amazon with a 1030 card, and it ran
Yeah.
FX3 it ran, but any VPX or future tables it just choked to death on.
Yeah, like for instance, I got this HP Omen desktop gaming PC tower thing, and it's got a 2080 in there. When I think you NVIDIA 2080, which will pretty much run all the VPX games and stuff without any issues. I think you could get away with a six. What is that? 16? Is it 1680s? There's one below that.
I have the
I think.
1660 in this
Yeah,
Super
six.
1660 Super.
Yeah, yeah, 1660 you can run, 2080 you could really run, like, and and it's like this thing was like, geez, I bought it well over a year ago. It's like $800, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
that's great.
but it's like my gaming tower that I travel around the house. So yes, there is going to be an investment because if you are going to play PC pinball, you definitely like you said, Ed, you don't want to go cheap on the
No,
PC
and
you're
I'm not
using.
I'm not familiar with future pinball, but on
Hmm.
VPX in the settings, there is ways
Hmm.
to limit the graphics and frame rates and reflections and things like that to make it more playable for lower end PCs.
Yep. Yep. And these monitors too, like if you're gonna use this for, let's say, an AtGames or an Arcade1Up type mod project where you're reusing the stock screens, guys, these are only 1080p screens as well. So
Hmm.
they're not they're not 4K.
Right.
So you're not running the games like that. And then of course too, what does kind of stink. The only negative thing that I can say about running PC pinball through the AtGames ecosystem is because they have, a 1080p monitor, it doesn't have the best refresh rate.
Right.
So there are some times where sometimes things feel laggy. What I noticed is I took a lot of other people's advice. I went into my FX3 settings on Steam and I turned off VSync, turned off ball trails, turned off like score pop-ups and stuff, and it runs. Like all the games run, just fine on this thing over here. You know what I mean? Like they're playable. I don't find them unplayable. Some people will still complain about, some delay because, the AtGames hardware isn't the best, right? Yes, if you really, really want the best of the best experience, you're gonna have to, do monitors and make it go full PC, right? Go full PC.
Patrick,
Uh,
I'll be the first to tell you. Should I call you
yeah.
P-Dub? I'm sorry. I never really brought that up.
Patrick, PDubs, it don't matter. You've probably
So
heard of me. Go ahead.
I am notoriously ambivalent. I had a guy
Mhm.
chime in on a video once in the comments, oh, look, you're getting lag and, you're
Yeah.
getting frame skipping. And I didn't see it. Whatever. Uh, Everybody's different, though. I know there are many people that are much more refined, senses than I do, and they can tell that stuff. So if that's important to you, that you really, really don't want to skimp on the PC.
I agree. I agree, my friend. Yeah, I hate ball trails too. I hate ball trails on FX3. It's like this weird like ghost shimmer following the ball around. Like
And I turn off this
I d-
pop-up scores as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I turned off the pop-up scores as well as the VSync, as well as the ball trails. And performance was way better without all that stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There you go. So
Eh,
here's something that I want to experiment with. So there's Joy to Key for setting up your controls, as well as for FX3, there's setting up your controls within FX3, right? Now
yep.
I currently, guys, am using Joy to Key. But what I would like to do is I would like to do some tests and set it up in FX3 directly and see if that improves on any kind of flipper lag. So actually seen this feedback where some people are saying if you don't use Joy to Key, you'll have better performance. Do you know anything about this?
I use Joy to Key, and it's always worked really good for me. I have no problem with it. Works for all the different systems, Future,
Mhm.
FX3, VPX. That definitely, I'm a big supporter of that.
Yes, I also have the gold leaf buttons in mine as well. You may have noticed over here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but obviously the stock pinball button was not orange, it was red. I ordered orange gold leaves to match my Cuber artwork because I thought that would be really cute. And then I left these stock because the nudge button I wasn't too worried about, but the flipper buttons I did put the gold leaf buttons in.
I have
So
heard
yeah.
nothing but great things about those, by the way.
Oh, I love them. I do notice a difference even on the stock tables. I know it's like a minor difference, but hey, any
Oh,
difference
yeah.
that's an improvement is a good thing in my opinion.
How are your haptics? You have the standard out of the box haptics on yours?
Yes. So once I finished like doing all the back box project, I mentioned before, I have the Cleveland solenoid kit that I want to
Hmm.
put in. So that'll be
Oh, okay,
step
right on.
2. After I get the Cleveland solenoid kits put in, so I'll have solenoids on both of my flippers versus just the haptic feedback. After I do that, I probably think I'm going to double up and get the Buy Stuff Arcades haptic kit upgrade. I'm hearing way too many good things about it.
Was gonna do the
You know,
reverse. I haven't yet, but I was gonna do the buy stuff haptics kit first, and then I was thinking about doing the flipper one.
Danny asked for a link to the gold leaf buttons. I'll get you a link after the show because I want to make sure I link you to the ones that I ordered directly. So I'll have to go find them here and I'll link you to them. I'll put them in the video description after the show's over. Let's see here. What else? What else you want to talk about with virtual pinball? We're almost out of time, my friend.
Uh, did you play pinball back in the day as a kid? And what were some of your favorites?
So like really it was just like whenever we went to the arcade if there was an arcade machine there. But like for instance for me, Super Mario Brothers Mushroom World, which I had
Oh,
to
wow.
buy, which I own. That's my one of my real pinball machines downstairs.
Nice.
And then of course I fell in love with one of the arcades growing up. Everyone who follows my channel knows this. Elvira Scared Stiff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's my holy grail.
It has a
Uh,
stiffometer. Come on.
yeah, I know.
You got it. Yeah.
So that's for real pinball. That's like my holy grail. Like one day maybe I'll buy one, but anyone I've seen for sale has been 10,000 plus, and I'm like, oh geez,
Yeah.
like that's a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money.
that's significant. That is a big deal.
Yep.
Right on.
Oh, yeah. And then what about you? Like
Uh,
pinball?
the Captain Fantastic that I just showed
Yeah,
you, because of the
Captain
memories with my
Fantastic.
brother and sister. We lived in just outside of Davis Monthan in Tucson, and just north of that on Craycroft was a bowling alley, and they had that, and we would play that a lot. So
Yeah.
good memory.
Yep. Danny said a stiffometer. Yes, there
A
is a stiff.
stiffometer.
It's called Elvira Scared Stiff. There's a stiffometer. There is a stiffometer.
Gorgar. Yes.
Yep.
Let's go. The first speech in a pinball machine ever.
Yep.
All right.
Let's.
Quick trivia before we jam off of here. What was the first table to have an actual DMD?
Ooh, that's a good one. Like first real pinball one.
The
Let's
first
see.
pinball machine with the
Let's. All
DMD.
right. Oh, wait. Hold on. Get your answers in the live chat, guys, because I have to do a giveaway. Whoever answers this question first in the live chat is going to win a prize. So let me know if you see it in the live chat.
Winner.
Who is it?
Supple wrist.
What do you get? Checkpoint.
Yes.
There you go.
Great
Supple.
table.
All right.
Great
So,
table.
where I forget the name of it. Okay, here it is. So you win a prize, my friend. Here it is. Level up. Okay, and open image in new tab. There we go. All right, let's tell. Oh, that's a terrible render. Sorry, caught me off guard there, but we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. All right, so I had done a review on my channel of a bunch of Pixel Studios games that are a lot of them are on the arcade platform. And so they reached out to me, and geez, I did my review like 6 months ago. It was a long time ago. They reached out to me and said, "Hey, we just caught notice of your video, and we really, really liked it. So if you want, we will give one of your viewers an autographed copy of Sir Lovelot for the Nintendo Switch that's signed by the developer who developed the game. His name is Seb, SEB. So congratulations, Supplerist. You will
Right
win
on.
a signed copy of Sir Lovelot on the Nintendo Switch, signed by the creator who created the game. So that's a pretty cool prize for you, my friend. Do me a favor, send me an email to pdubsarcadeloft@gmail.com and email me your shipping address. That way I can whatchamacallit, get that sent out to you directly from them, my friend.
All
So
right,
that
supple wrist. Let's go.
yeah, that's a pretty good price for him, man. Pretty good price. So signed Nintendo Switch copy of Sir Lovelot from Pixel Studios. So great timing on that, by the way, man. Great timing on that. So well, I gotta tell you something, Ed. Um, Virtual pinball is definitely a learning experience. I'm learning new stuff every single day myself. It's you got to roll up your sleeves though.
Yes.
It is not plug and play. You know what I mean? Like,
But
and
it's very rewarding. Very rewarding.
when it's done, like if you
Mhm,
use something like Baller Installer, which is what I use,
mhm.
and you go table by table, it is so time consuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to get to the like that big like I got a collection of let's just say 100 games or something.
Yeah.
It's time consuming. But man, like every time you like do it and set it up, and once you launch it, if everything works, you're like, oh my god, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I
On
love
to
it.
the next one. You get excited. So, but there's always YouTube channels. There's always written guides out there to help you through the process, and also the two websites that we recommend for VPX. I'm not going to steal your thunder, Ed, but what are the best two websites to go to besides
VP.
Wagner's Tech Talk?
Right. For the actual tables, though, and where to download the tables, and they also have very informative forums with a lot of really smart folks.
Mhm.
VP Universe and VP Forums, vpforums.org and vpuniverse.com. Those are my locations where I get my tables. I get asked that a lot,
Mhm. Same
and
here.
those are the go-tos and the back classes as well.
Yep. All right. Do us a favor, guys. I didn't set up an automatic redirect over to Michael B. the Game Genie show, but if you're, I completely forgot to. But if you're interested in checking out some of his content. He's doing a podcast tonight, Chill and Chat. Go ahead and head over there. Myself, I am going to play some pinball because now that I got my machine fired up, you got me all hyped up. So
Yes.
I wanted to give a very, very special thank you to Ed from Digital Victory for coming on the channel. Guys, do me a favor, link to his YouTube channels in this video description. Also, pin it to the comments after the show. Make sure you guys check out his channel. If you like virtual pinball content, click that subscribe button. Show Ed some support.
Thank you, Patrick. I've
Yeah,
been loving your channel for a long time, and to actually be on
thanks,
here
man.
with you is an actual honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love having guys like you on the show because you're an awesome guy, super nice guy. You make a great content, and your content's educational, it's entertaining, and you suck at multi-ball. And I love watching you suck at multi-ball in your videos.
That's
But
it.
anything else you want to tell people before we set them loose?
No, I just appreciate you guys hanging out, and I love seeing all the names in the chat, and I hope to see some of you on my channel one day. Thank you.
Hey guys, if you want Ed to come back on my show in the future or on any of my other content, make sure you guys let me know in the comments section after the video's over. Let me know if you want to see Ed come back. Maybe him and I could do some head-to-head pinball competition.
That's a
That
good
would be
idea.
great. That would
I'm
be
in.
really cool. All right, guys, do us a favor, give us a thumbs up on the way out. Thank you for subscribing. And remember, guys, it's Monday. Go play your multicades. You guys have a great night. Ed,
Bye,
don't go
everybody.
anywhere.